Edge at 11 starts now.
We begin on the Edge tonight with a winter weather advisory. Snow and freezing rain moving in and could make for a rough morning drive.
Dozens of schools have already closed for tomorrow. Weather Authority Stephanie Mead is here. And Stephanie, what will we be looking at by tomorrow morning?
Yeah, potentially this. There's a little bit of ice accumulation for those down near central Illinois, and we are potentially looking at that as we head through early tomorrow morning. So not necessarily super ideal conditions for the morning drive, which is why we have the winter weather advisory out. 2 to 4 inches of snow also a possibility too. And I think that's mainly up near our northernmost communities, just north of Detroit, so northern Oakland County, up near parts of Lapeer, Flint potentially picking up on that 2 to 4 inches as well. And right now on radar, we are seeing a mixed bag of precip from freezing rain to potentially sleet mixing in as well. And that's what that purple is indicating. Also just plain old rain. Temperatures are going to play a key role in whether we see freezing rain or just sleet or just plain old showers. And this is inching closer and closer to us. More widespread shower activity, some freezing rain as well, central Illinois, central Indiana. There will be a period overnight where we could have that potential for some freezing rain. Note timing on this by around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. There is that shot of picking up on some freezing rain. It'll be brief. Notice here by 8, 9 o'clock, we'll see it transition over into just plain old rain for those south of Detroit, mainly snow showers just north of the metro area. And then as temperatures warm, just widespread showers coming out of tomorrow afternoon. Up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice, so it's not going to be large totals, but we really don't need a whole lot in order to create issues out on the roadways. So take it easy for the morning drive. Areas north also factoring in that chance for 2, 3, and on the high end 4 inches of some rain. Numbers will hover around the freezing mark overnight. I think we bottom out in the upper 20s. That winter weather advisory in effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Out the door tomorrow, it's going to be an icy start, so plan accordingly. Road conditions will not be in the best shape, so give yourself extra time. 35 degrees tomorrow, icy start for sure. Luckily, numbers make a nice rebound through the middle part of the week. We reach 40 degrees. Now, that's going to feel downright balmy compared to what we're coming off of. Scattered showers will continue through about Thursday, mid-40s by Thursday afternoon, and we're factoring in rain chances as we head through the end of the week as well. Our extended forecast shows numbers remaining in the 40s. Looks dry on Saturday with our next chance of maybe a few spotty snow showers come Sunday. Taryn?
All right, thanks, Stephanie, for the update. And as we mentioned, there are several school closings tomorrow due to the weather. Oakland University will be closed for the morning. Opening at noon, instructors will be allowed to hold virtual classes. You can find a complete list of closures on fox2detroit.com.
And with temps warming back up, a warning for anyone going out on the ice. Several people were rescued from this floating sheet of ice on Lake Erie off the coast of Catawba Island in Ohio. The U.S. Coast Guard, the local sheriff's office, and the Put-in-Bay Fire Department all helped out. Windy conditions are said to be blamed. A tense afternoon in Taylor as the suspect shoots at police before barricading inside of his home.
And that suspect later surrendered, but neighbors say trouble has been brewing here for years. Fox 2's Jessica Dubnik has more.
It was definitely tense out here Monday afternoon for hours. Neighbors barricaded in their bathtubs. They didn't know what was going on. And it all started when a neighbor started firing off a shotgun. And he apparently didn't stop when Taylor police got here.
And he fired twice into the air.
Just feet from Sheila Baker's home, her neighbor angrily firing his shotgun.
And that's when I ran for cover because I didn't know if a bullet would come into my house or not.
She was in there for 4 hours with Blue, her border collie. Taylor police on scene in minutes trying to coax the suspect out. He fired at them, then they shot back. The Downriver SWAT team and Michigan State Police brought in as he barricaded himself inside his home off Polk near Goddard.
And then 3 police came into my house and set up stations in that bedroom with their tripod and their guns.
Eventually, a gunshot wound to his gut from that shootout led him to surrender. He is expected to survive.
You don't seem surprised.
Not at all. I've seen this coming.
For 3 years, they say they've been watching his erratic behavior.
From my experience, like, you couldn't approach him. It was pretty violent.
And allegedly, so were his 2 dogs. These ladies say they lived in fear. So did their pets as the dogs roamed loose.
They were trying to kill him.
Sheila says it came to a head last spring when the suspect's dogs came into her yard and attacked Blue.
He had over 30 major lacerations around his neck.
Since then, they've been trying to get animal control and the courts in Taylor to remove the dogs. Finally, last month, a court order was approved, but the suspect did not comply. Investigators and these neighbors say Monday's chaos all centers around his dogs. They were eventually seized by Animal Control Monday after he surrendered.
I've been worried and living with such fear for so long. I'm not relieved yet because I don't know, is he coming back?
While this was all going on, the suspect actually called a buddy who lives in the neighborhood, told him to call Fox 2 and alert us to what was going on. He actually passed on a cell phone number. We tried the suspect. His phone was already off at that point. Reporting in Taylor, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Also tonight, a 13-year-old boy is in desperate need of a heart transplant.
Not only will he need a life-saving procedure, but follow-up treatments for the rest of his life. As Fox 2's Dave Spencer tells us, he refuses to give up.
Daniel Skomsky has been defying the odds for 13 years and counting.
Daniel was born with a very, very complex heart disease known as the single ventricle defect. It is a half a heart.
Forced to endure so much in such a little time.
He's had so many surgeries, procedures, it's too many.
And he does it all while maintaining a positive attitude and outlook.
A lot of people love Daniel. He's a great kid. He's very strong. He's so brave.
Resilient, and now asked to endure more.
He's been at two hospitals. Two hospitals told us, confirmed that he does indeed need a heart transplant.
A major surgery that will require a lifetime of uncertainty.
It's a huge financial burden. Right. It's not easy.
Which is where his uncle comes in, a way to offer a help in a helpless situation, starting a GoFundMe page for his brother, an Auburn Hills police officer, so that he and Daniel's mom can focus on Daniel's care.
It's the only way I can help them, to kind of help Daniel later on in his life, because he just had a stroke this Saturday.
With each obstacle, Daniel remains strong.
Before this operation that he had this Saturday, his mom started crying, and Daniel, before he was rolled out of the room, he hugged her and said, "Mom, don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. I'll see you soon." And that's the kind of kid he is.
And while they await a more definitive prognosis following his stroke, they know there is still an uphill climb ahead of them.
We want to provide a better life for Daniel once this is all done.
You can find a link to donate at fox2detroit.com. Through all of this, Daniel's family has been right there by his side over at C.S. Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, and that's where that family will remain until he's well enough for a heart transplant. Dave Spencer, on The Edge.
Jury selection is set to start tomorrow morning for Jennifer Crumbly, the mother of the Oxford school shooter.
And Taryn, both Jennifer and James Crumbly face 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection to the 2021 shooting at Oxford High School that killed 4 students. Prosecutors say they neglected their son and caused the shooting because they bought the teen a gun instead of getting him the help he needed. Both parents now face separate trials. James Crumbly's is set for March 5th. All right, my friends, this is easy to get excited about. That historic win for the Lions at Ford Field on Sunday. They're headed to the NFC Championship game for just the 2nd time ever.
We're just still riding that high, and Lions fans are sporting their pride, and for some that means a new hairstyle inspired by one of the team's stars. Here's Fox 2's Dave Kinchin.
All righty. Take a peek.
7-year-old Sam of Royal Oak knew just the look he wanted after the Lions took down the Bucs, advancing to the NFC Championship game Sunday night.
We told him if the Lions won that we would let him get his hair blue. So the second the game was over, he looked right at us and said, "So gonna get my hair done?" Here we are.
His mom, Amy, called Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Royal Oak. Ashlyn, the stylist, got the assignment, and the project was on, thanks to something you might call the St. Brown effect.
Yeah, it's color is always a process, whether we're doing something crazy to dark to blonde. Obviously, you've seen we had to bleach it out first. So yeah, very lengthy, hour, 7-year-old. You know, wouldn't think you have to sit in this chair for an hour, did you?
If you want this haircut, it's really good, and yeah.
Star Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown kicked off the craze by sporting the look himself.
Right before the season started, I told him, hey man, you got to put a blue strip in your hair or do something in your hair just for the Lions. He told me if we make playoffs, I'm going to end up doing it, you know?
Dr. Moore, as he's known, is the barber who made it all happen.
As you guys can see, I did it myself as well.
Sunday night's game was already a star-studded event with the likes of actor and Michigan native Jeff Daniels, Detroit rocker Bob Seger, and even the governor hanging around. But could they end up sporting the look next? Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Internally, I knew that it was going to be like a trend that's going to start going off, and it's going to become like a new thing.
I just think it's fun for the city. It just brings people together. I mean, it's like every generation in the house is rooting for him, so it's fun.
And get this, Sam's stylist Ashlyn says the blue will last for about 3 weeks. Plenty of time for the Lions to hopefully pretty please get beyond the NFC Championship and make even more history. He's ready for the game, right?
Oh, he's so ready. He's very pumped up.
And of course, anytime you get a chance for reporter involvement, I wanted to see if I could get my hair done. Drum roll, please. Actually, they said they didn't have enough time to do mine based on our deadline, of course. So I couldn't get it done tonight, but I'm not opposed to doing it in the very near future. Dave Kinshin on The Edge.